When Sony launched the PlayStation 2 in 2000, it didn't just release a new console. It unleashed one of the most bizarre, surreal advertising campaigns in video game history. These ads weren't just about specs, features, or game footage. They were art films disguised as commercials. Sony tapped into what we might call the Gen X soft club aesthetic. Dim corridors, chrome surfaces, distorted faces, ambient sound design. The vibe wasn't loud or cartoonish. It was minimal, atmospheric, almost meditative. Gaming wasn't being sold as a toy. It was being sold as a space.
Welcome to the third place.
Sony's flagship ad campaign for the PS2 was called The Third Place. The idea, the PlayStation 2 wasn't merely a machine. It was a portal, a space outside the ordinary, a realm where imagination and reality blur. And to bring that strange concept to life, Sony did something few brands ever attempted to do. It hired an avant-garde filmmaker, David Lynch. Lynch, best known for his films like Twin Peaks, Eraserhead, and Mulholland Drive, directed the most iconic piece of the campaign. But this wasn't your typical 30-second ad. There was no console shown, no gameplay. Instead, we see a man wandering down a creepy corridor, bizarre encounters, body horror twists, and a duck ushering you into the surreal third place. But why surrealism? What was Sony's culture and strategy behind choosing this type of ad campaign? At the turn of the millennium, the video game audience was changing. Gaming was no longer just for kids. It had become a cultural touchpoint for teens and young adults seeking identity and community. Sony leaned into this by turning gaming ads into mini art films. Instead of explaining the tech, Sony embraced the mood, the mystery, the ambiguity, something you experienced rather than listened to. This aesthetic, surrealism meets Y2K futurism, echoed wider early 2000s culture shows. Shows like The Matrix, Twin Peaks, alongside this burgeoning internet made strange visuals mainstream, even desirable. The PS2 ads fit right into that zeitgeist.
The gospel train is a-comin', I hear it just at hand. I hear the car wheels moving and a rumbling through the land. Oh, get on board. Get on board. Get on board. I hear the bell and whistle.
The broader campaign was just as intriguing. One later example is the Mountain ad, directed by Frank Budgeon, showing literal mountains of people competing to reach the top, a metaphor for the gaming's global community and competition. This shift from purely surreal to playful spectacle reflected Sony's effort to broaden the PS2's appeal beyond hardcore teens to families and casual gamers.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo. Introducing Super Smash Bros., where all your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in one 4-player star-studded slam fest, only on Nintendo 64.
Sony really wanted to differentiate from Nintendo. Nintendo's advertising approach was almost the opposite. Their campaigns for Nintendo 64 and the later GameCube leaned into fun, colorful, family-friendly messaging, focused on characters like Mario and Zelda. Sony knew it couldn't win a direct comparison based on wholesome imagery or nostalgia. So PS4 ads embraced this edginess and this mystery, telling gamers that the console wasn't just for kids, it was for dreamers, artists, insiders. In a way, Sony said, Nintendo makes toys, but PlayStation makes worlds. And that distinction helped position PS2 as the console for a more grown-up era of gaming. Those PS2 ads, bizarre, unsettling, and unforgettable, weren't just commercials. They were statements. Statements about gaming as a culture, about technology as experience, and about creativity as commerce. And in doing so, they helped cement the PlayStation 2's place not just in living rooms, but in the imagination of a generation.